Welcome to Angela's Kitchen Garden. I've come down to the plot today because I've got quite a few jobs that I need to get done this week, and so I'll take you on a quick tour of the plot and then I need to get on with my jobs. So I'll take you on a tour of my plot now, so come and have a look and see what it's looking like. So this is my first bed and I've got my strawberries. These are the runners that I took at the end of last year, and I planted them at the beginning of this year, and they're doing really well and they've got lots of little flowers on them. The ones that are doing really well are the ones that are 2 years old. These were planted at the beginning of last year and now they're just more established and they've got loads and loads of flowers on them. So I should be getting lots and lots of strawberries from these ones. I'm really excited about this. And then here I have got my summer fruiting raspberries, and these have got loads of flower buds on them as well. They're doing really well. So at the ends of all the little branches I've got lots and lots of flower buds, so I should be getting lots of summer fruiting raspberries from these, which I'm really excited about. Now moving on, in this next bed here I've got my blackcurrant bushes. They're doing really well and they've just covered in flowers. So they're doing really well, so I should get lots of fruit from these this year. And then these are my other strawberry plants that are 2 years old, but some of them have got quite yellow leaves, and so I've started giving them a liquid feed because I think they must be deficient in something. These ones haven't got yellow leaves, but these ones have got yellow stripes on them, and so I've started getting them a liquid feed, so whatever it is that they're deficient in will hopefully sort out and then they'll green up again. And then these are my autumn fruiting raspberries. They're doing really well. They're creating quite a thicket there. And then here are my globe artichokes, and they're doing really well. But unfortunately the rhubarb that I was given earlier this year isn't doing quite as well. I think it got a little bit too dry, and so I've started watering it more regularly. Hopefully it will come back. Now my Swiss chard is doing really well, but unfortunately my red Swiss chard, I think because it's been so warm, is bolting, and so that means it's going to seed. As you can see, it's sending up this tall stem here which the leaves are coming from. And what will happen is it will send up a big shoot, and then the leaves will get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it will produce a flower head on the top and produce seeds. And so this means that this plant then won't be producing leaves and it won't be productive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nip out the central stem, and then it will encourage these side leaves to come out, and that will just give me a couple more weeks to harvest from it. But unfortunately it's gone to seed quite early, and I think it's because it's been unusually warm at the moment. The green ones are doing fine, so I'll still be able to harvest these, but the red ones have gone to seed. So moving on to the next bed, this is the bed where I've got my cabbages, and these are a variety called Durham Early, and they're doing really well, and they're starting to heart up nicely. And so it won't be long until I will be able to harvest these. So they're doing really well. Really pleased with those. And then I have got a row of turnips and a row of kohlrabi. And unfortunately I left a couple of potatoes in last year, so I will need to take those out. Then if we move on to the next bed, this is where I have got my broad beans, and these are doing really well, apart from the pea and leaf weevil that's been eating them. And you can see they're already in flower, which I'm really pleased about. Then moving on to this bed here, this is where I've put my lettuces in. They're doing really well under there. And this is my gooseberry that I planted, and that's doing really well, and so is the other one, and this is in flower as well. But unfortunately one of the branches didn't make it, so I'm going to have to chop this off at the base because this is dead now, so I don't want it getting any diseases. So I'll just take this off. I use a pair of secateurs and just cut it off at the bottom. And I'll show you my lettuces under here. So these are doing really well under there. And they're so fast growing that it won't be long until I can start picking them. Now moving on to the next bed. In here I have got my parsnips, I've got my carrots, and I've got my beetroot in there. And here I've got my radishes. So here are my little radish seedlings, and they're doing really well here. And I've planted a short row of them so that I can sow some more and then some more, and I can get them successionally, which would be really good. And then in here you can see my row of beetroot, and they're doing really well as well. And I've even got some carrots coming up. You can see them there, they're very, very small. They're just starting to come through. And so that's really good. Now, in this bed here, I have got my purple tender stem broccoli, and I'm coming to the end of the harvest for this, but I have still got some shoots that I can be picking. But it is coming towards the end, so that won't be there for much longer. These are the beds that my Brussels sprouts and my brook kale are going to go into, but I've just put my delivery of compost on top for now. And then this is my bed where I'm going to be putting my green tender stem broccoli, which is a summer harvesting one, and then one for next spring, which is a purple sprouting broccoli and a white sprouting broccoli, which I've never tried before, so I'm excited to see how that does. Now over here I've got my little water bin, and we're really lucky on this plot that we have hose pipes, so we can actually water with the hose pipe, which is quite unusual, I think. And then here we have got my lilies, my rose bush. This is Arthur Bell, and you can see it's in bud now, so it won't be long and I'll be having some flowers from this. And this produces loads and loads of flowers. They smell really lovely. And then in here I have got my little rosemary cuttings that I took the other day. And so you just take off some of the hardwood stems and you try and pick ones that haven't got any flowers on them, and then you strip the leaves off them, and so there's about that much of the stem underneath the soil, and you put them round at the side of the pot, and then they should sprout out. But because I'm giving away my rosemary bush over there, I wanted to take some cuttings so that I would have some more rosemary plants on the plot. So in here I've got a couple of my flowers from last year, my salvias, and here I have got a double row of gladioli, pom-pom dahlia, 2 canna lilies and some more dahlias along there. And then I've planted here some what did I plant? I planted some cornflowers, that's what I planted. And I've only planted a small section of them because I'm going to be sowing them successionally so that they don't all flower at the same time. So in a couple more weeks I'll plant some more, and then in a couple of weeks after that I'll plant some more, and then it will mean that I should be able to be picking these flowers for much, much longer. And then this is where I've managed to dig up to so far, and that's what I'll be doing with the rest of today. I'll be doing more digging, trying to get it cleared. And then in this bed here I have got my pea seedlings. Now I direct sowed these, although I have got some at home, and so these are starting to come up, but some of them did get eaten, and so something went around digging up the little peas and then just leaving the shoots on the surface, which was a bit of a shame. But I've sown some more at home as backup, so I'll just fill in the gaps where they're missing. And now this is how far I've managed to dig it today. I've managed to dig 2 rows along here, so I'm quite pleased with that. And then what I did was I got a rake and I just evened it out so that it was nice and smooth. I will need to go over it again, but I did a nice rough job of this, just so that it started to look a bit neater. And then I dug up my rosemary bush, so that's now in that pot and it's ready to go to its new home at my friend's house, so I hope she likes it. And now I've pulled out this weed suppressing membrane path that I've got, and I'll need to peg it down all the way along the edge, and that's going to run all the way to the end. And then this is where this bed ends around here, and then this is where the path will go. So when I come up here the next time, I'll dig another couple of rows and then I'll be able to lay the path down there. And on this side, I've almost dug up to my lupin and it's looking really pretty. I've got some flowers on this now, so I'll need to dig that up and find a new home for it, and the same with my peony that's there. And I've managed to dig about 2 buckets worth of weeds today, so I'm really pleased with that. I'm slowly getting there. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and check out my other videos. And if you have a look down in the description below, you can also follow me on Pinterest, Twitter and Instagram, so have a look at those. And I will see you on the next one. Bye!